Krishna Bhakti Rasa is the mellow of Krishna Bhakti. Mellow of Krishna Bhakti, Srimad Bhagavata. Tate Veda Shastra ite Paramahatva. It is the essence of all Vedic literature, Sarva Vedanta Saram. Tadrasamrita Truptasya Nanyatra Sidrati Kuchit. If someone is fortunate enough to develop taste for the Srimad Bhagavatam, the nectar emanating from Srimad Bhagavatam, he will never aspire for any other literature. Nigama kalpatara galitam palam sukam mukhadam tadrava sanjutam. Pivata Bhagavatam rasamalayang muhraho rasika bhivhavuka. The Srimad Bhagavatam is most ripened, sweetest, nectarian, juicy fruit of Vedic tree. Nigama kalpatara galitam phalam. Sukha mukhadam tadrava sanjutam. Again, it has come out from the lips of Sukadeva Goswami. Sukha literally means parrot. Parrot. Generally, a parrot touches that fruit which is very sweet. After being touched by parrot, that fruit becomes much sweeter. Similarly, when this Srimad Bhagavatam came out from the lips of Sukadeva Goswami, it became much sweeter. It is nectarian, juicy fruit. Adye, madhye, antye. Wherever you like, you may taste it. In the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. You'll only taste that juice, nectarian juice, nothing else. Jasyang vaisruyamanayang Krishni paramapurushi. Bhakti rutpadyate punsa soka moho bhayapaha. Only by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source, one can very easily develop Krishna Bhakti. As a result of which, soka moho bhayapaha. All your material fears, lamentations, delusions will be completely destroyed. Only by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Thanistita srutigatang tanubang manobhir. Ja praya sojito jito pyasisai trilokyam. It's also said like that. In whatever position one is, there is no need of changing position. Whatever position is, let him be there in that position. If someone is brahmachari position, let him be there. Someone is grihastha position, let him be there in his position. Someone is vanaprasthi position, let him be there in his position. Someone is sannyas position, let him be there in that position. No need of changing. Only one thing should be done. Nitya bhagavata sevaya. Tanumang manobhir. Jasyang vaisruyamanaya. Thane stita srutigatang tanubang manobhir. Ja praya sojito jito pyasistai trilokyam. Only one thing required, he should daily hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source. So he will develop such Krishna Bhakti, pure Bhakti, that he will be able to conquer the unconquerable. Ajita. Krishna is unconquerable. He is known as Ajita. But he will be conquered. Krishna will be conquered by that devotee who, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, has developed such bhakti. This is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahaprabhu says, Srimad Mahaprabhu says, Srimad Bhagavatam pramanamamalam prema pumarthamaha Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur matavidam tatradra napara. This is the opinion of Srimad Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam is a spotless proof. Prem Bhakti Tattva has been said here. We accept Srimad Bhagavatam. We develop our taste and interest for Srimad Bhagavatam. We never aspire for any other literature. জীবের নিস্তার লাগি সূত্র কইল ব্যাস, মায়াবাদী ভাষ্য শুনিলে হয় সর্বনাশ। This Srimad Bhagavatam is Brahma Sutra Bhashya, it's commentary on Brahma Sutra. Srila Vyasdev is the compiler of Brahma Sutra, and he himself has given commentary. There is Srimad Bhagavatam, is the commentary on Brahma Sutra. Who is the compiler? He has given commentary. But the Mayavadis, followers of Sankaracharya, they never follow Srimad Bhagavatam. Sankaracharya has compiled an imaginative commentary, that is Sarika Bhashya. The Mahaprabhu gives discussion. Mayavadi Bhashya sunle hoy sarvanash. Don't listen to that Mayavadi Bhashya, the commentary given by Mayavadis. You will be completely doomed. That means your bhakti vritti will be completely finished. Therefore, jao bhagavata paro Vaishnaver sthane, ekanta ashray karo Chaitanya charane. So you should go and approach a Vaishnava, Bhakta Bhagavata, who is an embodiment of Bhagavata, and hear Bhagavata and study Bhagavata from him, and completely take shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Do you understand my language? Try to understand my language, some faulty language. You may excuse me. Ekanta ashray karo Chaitanya charane. Completely take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why so? What is the need? What's your name, Prabhu? Your name?
Bhakta Dharik. Bhakta.
Bhakta. Acha, acha. You understand English?
Not everything.
You understand what I say? Not everything? Then I can understand.
He's still learning English.
Acha. Learning English. All right. So, Shankar Pandit, Prabhu, you may say, what is the need of taking shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how it will help us in understanding Srimad Bhagavatam?
Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been declared by Goswami as being Mahaprabhu.
Yes. Mm. 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 How will it help you in understanding Srimad Bhagavatam? Mahabhadanya means give freely Krishna prem. Isn't Namo Mahabhadanya Krishna prema pradayate, isn't it? He gives freely Krishna prem. So how will it help you in understanding Srimad Bhagavatam? That is my question.
I can only guess many answers.
While you offer puja to Guru Maharaj, what we are chanting? Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinaso jate. Isn't it? Are not you chanting this thing? Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinaso jate. How your avidya, ignorance will be dispelled unless you develop prema bhakti. By the mercy of Guru, will develop prema bhakti. He is giving prema bhakti. Gaura Priyojana is very dear to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That Gauranga Mahaprabhu is freely Krishna prem. So if you develop Krishna prem, then your avidya, ignorance will be completely dispelled, isn't it? So prem bhakti is required to understand Bhagavata. Bhaktya Bhagavatam Rajyam na buddhya na satikaya. Shivaji has said, Lord Shiva, one of the Mahajanas, Bhaktya Bhagavatam Rajyam na buddhya na satikaya. Only by bhakti you can understand Bhagavata. You cannot understand by dint of your material learning, scholarship, merit, intelligence, or by taking help of the commentaries given by many commentators, such as Sridhar Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidyabhushan, Jiva Goswami, isn't it? Many commentators are there. There's a given commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. So one may think, all right, I'll take help of the commentaries written by so many commentators. I can understand. But Shivaji said, no, no. Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grajyam, na buddhya, na satikaya. Only by bhakti you can understand Bhagavata. You can't understand Bhagavata by dint of your material scholarship, learning, intelligence, merit, or taking help of the commentaries given by different commentators. Do you understand? Why? Krishna tulyo bhagavato vibhu sarvasrayo Krishna bhagavato prati shloke prati akshare nana ortho koyo shloke prati akshare nana ortho koyo. Krishna tulya bhagavata. Bhagavata is as good as Krishna, is not different from Krishna. Do you understand? Shankar Pandit Prabhu. Prati shloke prati akshare nana ortho koyo. In every verse, even in every word, even in every letter, there is many, many meanings. Srimad Bhagavatam is such a scripture. Do you understand? Krishna Tulya is as good as Krishna, it's not different from Krishna. How Krishna is to be approached, how Krishna is to be understood. How? Bhaktyahum ekaya grajya. Krishna said that thing. Bhaktyahum ekaya grajya. Only through bhakti I am to be understood, Krishna said. I am to be approached. No mansadeti yogam, no sankhyaṁ, no dharma uddhava, no sudhyaya tapastyaga, jatha bhaktir mamurjita. 11th canto, Bhagavatam. Krishna says this to Uddhava. Huh? No mansadeti yogam, no sankhyaṁ, no dharma uddhava, no sudhyaya, no tapa, no tyaga. By all these means you cannot understand me. You understand? By doing, what is that? Vedic studies, Sudhyaya, undergoing tapasya. You understand? Making analytical studies, Sankhya. Do you understand? By tapasya, you cannot. Jatha bhaktir mamorjit. Only by bhakti. Krishna is conquered by only by bhakti. Bhakti vaso madhava. Isn't it? Madhava is only captured by bhakti, not by anything else. Similarly, as Srimad Bhagavatam is as good as Krishna, is to be understood and approached through bhakti. Bhakti Bhagavatam Gacchya. Huh? And Mahaprabhu gives that prema bhakti freely. Huh? So it will help you to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, we should take complete shelter at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Do you understand? Huh? Ekantasraya kara Chaitanya Sarani. Therefore it is said. Understood? Huh? This is Bhagavata jena mane se javana sama. Tar shasta che janme janme prabhu jama. One who doesn't accept Srimad Bhagavatam is mletha javan. He is to be punished by Jamaraj life after life. Isn't it? That's aparadh. Offense. So, we accept Bhagavatam. In that way, we worship Bhagavatam, we glorify Bhagavatam. This is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Before starting Srimad Bhagavatam, before speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam, we glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the glory. As we glorify Krishna, we glorify Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has its mercy, isn't it? Sadhu Shastro Krupai Jadi Krishna Namukho Hoy Sadhu Shastro Kripai Jadi Sehi Jivo Toroe Maya তাহাকু ছাড়া এ Sadhu Shastra Krupa. As sadhu has Krupa. Krupa, you understand mercy? Huh? Shastra has Krupa. You understand? Bharata has Krupa. Sadhu Shastra Krupa. Mercy of sadhu and mercy of Shastra. Bhagavad Shastra. If someone gets such mercy, huh? He'll easily develop Krishna consciousness. So he'll be very easily be free from the clutches of Maya and you'll be delivered. Do you understand? This is what the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let us come to the text. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 29, text 24. Aham uchavachir dravye kriyayotpanna yanaghe naiva tusye archito archayang bhutagrama vamanino. Aham uchavachir dravye kriyayotpanna yanaghe naiva tusye archito archayang bhutagrama vamanino. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. My dear mother, even if he worships with the proper rituals and paraphernalia, a person who is ignorant of my presence in all living entities never pleases me by the worship of my deities in the temple. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are 64 different prescriptions for worship of the deity in the temple. There are many items offered to the deity, some valuable and some less valuable. It is prescribed in Bhagavad Gita, if a devotee offers me a small flower, a leaf, some water or a little fruit, I will accept it. The real purpose is to exhibit one's loving devotion to the Lord. The offerings themselves are secondary. If one has not developed loving devotion to the Lord and simply offers many kinds of foodstuffs, fruits and flowers without real devotion, the offering will not be accepted by the Lord. We cannot bribe the personality of Godhead. He is so great that our bribery has no value. Nor has he any scarcity, since he is full in himself. What can we offer him? Everything is produced by him. We simply offer to show our love and gratitude to the Lord. This gratitude and love for God is exhibited by a pure devotee who knows that the Lord lives in every living entity. As such, temple worship necessarily includes distribution of prasad. It is not that one should create a temple in his private apartment or private room, offer something to the Lord and then eat. Of course, that is better than simply cooking foodstuffs and eating without understanding one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. People who act in this manner are just like animals. But the devotee who wants to elevate himself to the higher level of understanding must know that the Lord is present in every living entity. And as stated in the previous verse, one should be compassionate to other living entities. A devotee should worship the Supreme Lord, be friendly to persons who are on the same level, and be compassionate to the ignorant. One should exhibit his compassion for ignorant living entities by distributing prasad. Distribution of prasad to the ignorant masses of people is essential for persons who make offerings to the personality of Godhead. Real love and devotion is accepted by the Lord. Many valuable foodstuffs may be presented to a person, but if the person is not hungry, all such offerings are useless for him. Similarly, we may offer many valuable items to the deity, but if we have no real sense of devotion and no real sense of the Lord's presence everywhere, then we are lacking in devotional service. In such a state of ignorance, we cannot offer anything acceptable to the Lord. Most important. How Lord accepts things. That he says. Lord Kapladev says to his mother, my dear mother, even if he worships with proper rituals, paraphernalia, a person who is ignorant of my presence in all living entities never pleases me by worship of my deities in the temple. Who sees, that is also stated, who sees, and only who knows and sees that, oh, the Lord is here. And the temple in the deities is not anywhere. So what type of devotee he is? Kanishtadhikari is known as Kanishtadhikari, isn't it? So Bhakta Prakruta Smruta. You understand? Kanishtadhikari, Prakruta, material. You understand? Very low type. If he cannot understand and see or feel or realize that Lord is present everywhere, he is also present in all the living entities. Do you understand? In previous verses, Kapladev has said that thing. One who offers me respect but is envious of the bodies of others, and therefore a separatist, never attains peace of mind because of his inimical behavior towards other living entities. Previous verse says. Then prior to that also says, one worships the deity of Godhead in the temple but does not know that the Supreme Lord as Paramatma is situated in every living entity's heart must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblations to ashes. Valueless, isn't it? Useless suffering. Worships deity, offers foodstuff, offers paraphernalia, but doesn't know this thing. Don't pay respect to other living entities. Then Krishna never accepts his offerings. Never pleased and never accepts his offerings. Most important. One should understand this. So one who is pujari, he is doing direct service. But he should be very, very careful. Otherwise he will commit offense. Thereby, whole structure will collapse. Do you understand? This is the temple of Kishore Kishori. It will never be pleased. How will go on? Where is your existence? Will Kishore Kishori will never be pleased by your service? All structure is based on it. Isn't it? Can you expand this, let's say, society of Krishna consciousness? You want to expand throughout the world. Let it reach every house, every human being. How can you do it without this? Can you do it with your own strength, own effort? Krishna Sakti Vina Nuhetar Pravartana. Without Krishna's mercy, if Krishna will never empower you, if Krishna will never inculcate his spiritual strength unto you, how can you do? And what can you do? Can you? You cannot even lift a blade of grass. Have you strength? It is his merciful strength He inculcates unto you. If you withdraw it, what will you do? Tell me. Even you cannot lift your hand, isn't it? You should understand this thing. Yes, most important thing. The Bhagavatam says, Kapaladev Lord Kapil says, Bhagavata jena mane se jabana sama, tar shasta che janme prabhu jama. I said first. And never accepts Bhagavata. Teachings given, siddhantas given, conclusions given, mletso jaban. He is to be punished by Lord Jama life after life. Isn't it? Mahaprabhu says. Srimurtira Swadhaya Sevan Atmavat Seva. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Rasa, Srimurtira Swadhaya Sevan. এই পঞ্চের অল্পঙ্গ কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি জন্মায় Mahaprabhu when teaches Sanatana Goswami, you understand, on sadhana bhakti tattva, 64 items he said. At last, in conclusion, he speak only 5 things. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Vasa, Srimurtira Swadhaya Sevan. Isn't it? Srimurtira Swadhaya Sevan. One of these, Srimurtira Vigraha. Deity form of the Lord. Deity installed by a Vaishnava, sadhu. Do you understand? Deity installed by a Vaishnava, sadhu is not different from Krishna. Is it different from Krishna? Pratimanuhatu me sakhyad Brajendra Nandana. Is a mere idol? Is a mere idol? Are you doing idol worship? Hey, why are you talking? Come up here. Why do you sit there and talk with that kid? Come up here. You, yes. You are sitting here and went there. What sun? Then come to this side. Morning sun is very nice. Isn't it? Is a mere idol? Is mere idol? Thinking, Arche Shradhir, Guru Sunaramati, Vaishnavadati Buddhi, Pasandisa Narakisa. Isn't it? Padma Purana says. Who thinks is mere idol? The deity installed in the temple by Vaishnava Sadhu. Thinks Guru, an ordinary human being, Vaishnava, belongs to some caste. It's Pashandi Narak. He must go to hell. Do you understand? Pratimanuhantame Sakhyat Brajendra Nandana. You are not idol. You are directly son of Nanda Maharaj. Isn't it? Sakhi Gopal story is not mere story. It's true fact. How that Gopal deity from Vrindavan came to give witness. Do you understand? Varanagar in South India. How he came? Is a mere idol? He told Khirchor Gopinath is there in Orissa, Remuna. So stole Khir for his dear devotee, Madhavendra Puri. Is a mere idol? You should understand this thing. Namarupa Vigraha Tina Chidanandamaya Tine Bhedana. The name of the Lord, the Vigraha of the Lord, and his one Rupa, form of the Lord, himself. There are no difference. These three are transcendental. Do you understand? So, therefore Mahaprabhu says, Srimurtira Swadhaya Sevan, Atmavat Seva, as Mother Jasoda was doing, Mother Jasoda is doing, Radharani is doing service, offering. You should offer such service. isn't it? His Bhakta Vatsala is very dear to his devotee. Huh? Very mercifully he has appeared in deity form, isn't it? His dear devotee does prana pratishtha. He installs bhaktetsa upatarupaya paramatmane namo nama. How Lord appears? Who can make Lord appear? Huh? Who can make him appear? Huh? How he appears? Yes. Yes. Bhaktetsa upatarupaya paramatmane namo nama. Bhaktetsa by the desire of his dear devotee. Isn't it? When his dear devotee desires, says, prays, please appear here. Please appear in this murti. Then he appears. That is prana pratishtha. Jivan nyasa korile Srimurti pujya hoy. Huh? Jivan nyasa korile Srimurti pujya hoy. Chaitanya Bhagavata says. Huh? What is that? चतुर्धा विग्रह कृष्ण এই চারি সনে ভাগবত তুলসী গঙ্গায় ভক্ত জনে চতুর্ধা বিগ্রহ কৃষ্ণ এই চারি সনে জীবন্যাস করিলে স্মৃতি পূজ্য হয় হ্যাঁ জন্মমাত্র এ চারি ঈশ্বর এই বেদে কয় বেদ শেষ দিচ্ছি ডু ইউ আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড মি মাই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ হ্যাঁ মাই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ফল্ট ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ইউ ট্রাই টু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড মি ভাগবত তুলসী গঙ্গা ভক্ত চতুর্ধা বিগ্রহ কৃষ্ণ এই চারি সনে These are four manifestations of Krishna here in this material world. Do you understand? Bhagavata, first I say, Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvasva is as good as Krishna. Is not a mere book. Do you understand? Huh? Bhagavata, Tulasi, Ganga, Bhakta. We worship Tulsi. Huh? Is a mere plant? Is a mere plant? Huh? Tulsi is manifestation of Krishna, is dear devotee of Krishna. Krishna Prayasi. Bhagavata, Tulasi, Ganga, Ganges, and a Bhakta, dear devotee, embodiment of Bhagavata. These are four manifestations of Krishna. Jivanyasa karile Srimurti pujya hoy. Janma matra ye chari Ishwara ei Veda koy. Veda says, from very birth, these four are Lord. Bhagavata, Tulasi, Ganga, Bhakta. There is no need of installation. These four. Do you understand me? Huh? You understand me? But Murti, the deity maker makes deity and keeps it in his room, showcase, isn't it? Huh? So we go to his shop, see the deity. Shall we pay obeisances there? No. Jivanyasa karle Srimurti pujya hoy. Vaishnava, sadhu, bhakta gets that murti and installs it. Do you understand? Installs it. That installation, deity installation. What is that? Prana pratishtha. That means he prays to the Lord. Oh Lord, please manifest yourself in this deity. And by the will, by the desire, that dear devotee, deity manifests. Do you understand? Then he becomes, then he is worshipped, worshipable. The Vaishnava has installed deity. So it's not different from Krishna himself. Pratimanu tume sakshat Brajendra Nandana. So it should be worshipped in that mood. Not a mechanical mood, mechanical way, a routine work. Huh? A routine work. Are you doing routine work? Huh? Mechanical way? No love? It's question of love. Atmavatsya. Do you understand? Just the Mata was doing, Radharani is doing. Similarly, and you offer something to deity, so do like that. Otherwise, deity will never accept it, he says. And he is present everywhere, he says. Even if he worships with the proper rituals, paraphernalia, person who is ignorant of my presence in all living entities never pleases me by worship of my deities in the temple. Huh? Who sees? Who sees? Huh? থাবর জঙ্গম দেখে ন দেখে তার মূর্তি সর্বত্র হই তার ইষ্টদেব স্ফূর্তি। হ্যাঁ, ভক্ত আমার প্রেমে বান্ধি আছে হৃদয় ভিতরে, যাহা নেত্র পড়ে তাহা দেখো আমারে। Isn't it? You follow me? হ্যাঁ, ভক্ত আমার প্রেমে বান্ধি আছে হৃদয় ভিতরে, যাহা নেত্র পড়ে তাহা দেখো আমারে। Lord says, Krishna says, that dear devotee has bound me up in his heart with the rope of love. Do you understand me? Huh? Krishna, that dear devotee has bound me up in his heart with the rope of love. Do you understand? Jahan netra pade, tahan dekho amare. Wherever he looks, he sees me. He doesn't see anything else. Huh? Do you understand me? In Gita, 6th chapter, Bhagavad Gita also will find, Tasyaham na pranasyami, swachame na pranasyati. Isn't it? Shankar Pandit. Huh? 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tasyaham na pranasyami, swachame na pranasyati. He is not out of my sight. I am not out of his sight. Yeah? He sees me, I see him. This is the question of love. Huh? Sada muktopi badhasmi bhaktena snaharajjubhi. Nrsimhadev says. Huh? Sada muktopi badhasmi bhaktena snaharajjubhi. Though I am supremely free, supremely independent, still I am bound up with the rope of love of my devotee. Do you understand? Till I am bound up. Do you understand? Bhakta Vatsalya, Bhakta Premadhinata. Aham bhakta paradhina aswatantra ivadija sadhu vigrasta hrudayo bhaktir bhakta dana priya. 9th canto. Huh? Isn't it? 9th canto Bhagavatam. Aham bhakta paradhina aswatantra ivadija sadhu vigrasta hrudayo bhaktir bhakta dana priya. He says to Durvasa Muni, oh Durvasa Brahman, aham bhakta paradhina. This is unique. He is supremely independent. But he says, I am dependent on my devotee. Huh? Who is great? Who is great? Devotee is great. Huh? Krishna samya hoite hoy bada bhakta pada. Isn't it? Huh? Krishna samya hoite hoy bada bhakta pada. Nobody will be equal to Krishna or superior to Krishna. Can anybody? Because he is supreme. Isn't it? Haristeka tattvam vidisiva suresa pranamitam. Ekali Ishvara Krishna arsa bhrutya. Isn't it? Huh? Krishna is the only Lord. Master, all others are his servitors. Lord Hari, Lord Krishna is the supreme truth. Parama Tattva. Even Brahma, Shiva, Suresa, Devaraj, Indra, all are his subordinate. Isn't it? Huh? His absolute truth is one without second. Huh? Matta paratam nanyat Kinchit asti Dhananjaya. Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Oh Dhananjaya, oh Arjuna, there is nobody superior to me." Isn't it? But he says, "Aham bhakto paradhina aswatantra iva dija sadhu vigrasta hudayor bhaktir bhaktadana priya." Oh, dija, Durvasa, I am dependent on my devotee. Though I am supremely independent. Huh? Bhakto paradhina. You understand? Bhakta jana priya. That devotee is so dear to me. I am so dear to. Huh? Sadhuri grasta hridaya. That sadhu, that bhakta, huh, is my heart. You understand? He is my heart. I am his heart. He is my heart. You understand? This is Bhakta Vatsalya. Bhakta Premadhinata. You understand? He is supremely, as it says, here says, he is self-sufficient. Has he any deficit? Does he want anything from you? Huh? Huh? If you want, offer him food. Will he starve? Will he die? Huh? Out of starvation? Huh? Yet Prabhupada Maharaj has said, you see, he is full in himself. What can we offer him? Everything is produced by him. We simply offer to show our love, gratitude to the Lord. This is our love. You understand? Does he ask you something? Please give me, give me. Huh? Self-sufficient. But he's so merciful. You understand? He has appeared mercifully here to accept your seva. Huh? He's all powerful. He's omnipotent. All powerful. But is waiting. Am bhakta paradhina, I am depending on my bhakta. My devotee will come, wake me up. As if he cannot wake himself. Huh? My devotee will come, wake me up. My devotee will come, brush my teeth. My devotee will come, bathe me. My devotee will come, dress me. My devotee will come, feed me. Huh? Is Pujari. Huh? Isn't it? Atmavat Seva. Without devotion, you have no devotion. If you do such thing mechanically or as a routine work, what will happen? You should understand this thing. Do you understand? Temple president. This whole structure will collapse. Whole structure will collapse. Isn't it? This is mercy. So this is most important thing. This loving devotion. Do you understand? So one who is Pujari, does Pujari work, should be very, very careful. How can he sleep? He's waiting for me. I'll go and wake him up. I'll bathe him, I'll dress him, I'll feed him. How is it? Isn't it? Mother Jasoda is doing. Do you understand? Radharani is doing. It's a question of love. You have no love, you'll never accept anything. You'll never accept. Do you understand? And again, one thing is here. As first I said that thing. One was such love. He has bound of Krishna in his heart. Do you understand? He has bound of Krishna in his heart. He sees Krishna everywhere. He sees moving and non-moving entities, but he never sees his outward form, that outward form. Thavar sangama dekhe na dekhe tar murti sarvatra hitar ishta devasputi. He sees ishta, he sees Krishna everywhere. Paramatma everywhere. Isn't it? This is love. If you are a pujari, you are offering worships, deity in the temple, but you cannot see this thing. But Kapaladev says, he is ignorant of my presence in all living entities, never pleases me. by the worship of my deities in the temple. So can he become a pujari? If he offers something, will Kishori accept? Huh? Isn't it? You should understand it. How important it is. Huh? And so many previous verses are there. Kapladeva has said. Huh? One should not disrespect even an animal, an ant. Huh? Because Krishna is doing that. As Paramatma. Do you understand? Huh? You see, here it said also, many in Bhagavad, in all scriptures, in Mahabharata it is said, Piteva putram karuno nadabejayati jojanam visuddhasya hrusikesastasya turnam prasidati. This is Mahabharata. Do you understand? Huh? Piteva putram karuna nadabejayati jojanam visuddhasya hrusikesastasya turnam prasidati. As an affectionate father, do you understand? Affectionate father doesn't put his son into any anxiety. Do you understand? Similarly, the person who doesn't put any animal, any living entity into anxiety through his words or deeds or behavior, he is very dear to me. Do you understand me? Very dear to me. Do you understand me? This same thing Kapladeva says. Mahaprabhu says, Prani matre monovakya udvego na diva. Isn't it? Huh? Prani matre monovakya udvego na diva. Huh? Don't put any animal, even an ant, in anxiety through your activity, through your words, or through your behavior. Do you understand? Because Krishna is there as Paramatma. And Kapladeva says the same thing. Mahabharata says, Mahaprabhu says. Do you understand? So this is most important. How can it be without devotion? It's a question of devotion, loving devotion, love. Otherwise, theoretically you cannot act. Do you understand? You know all these things, but you can't act theoretically. It's a question of love. Do you understand? Unless you have developed that love, can you see Krishna there? In an ant, in an elephant, in a dog? Huh? Do you understand? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gabi hastini suni chaiva sopakecha pandita samadarshina. Isn't it? Bhagavad Gita. Huh? Equal vision. Who has developed equal vision? Huh? Huh? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gabi hastini. Huh? That Pandit who has developed such vision, equal vision, who sees Paramatma in every living entity. He sees a Brahmana, he sees a Chandala, he sees an elephant, he sees a dog, he sees a cow. But he sees equal. That means he never sees the outward body. He sees Paramatma, super soul. There. Then that is equal vision, isn't it? Otherwise, how can you develop equal vision? Theoretically. Unless you see it. Huh? You see the body. He has a black body, he has a white body, he has a dog body, he has an elephant body, he has an ant body. You have such differentiation. Do you understand? Here, Kapladeva says the same thing. Huh? Separatist, you see. A separatist never attains peace of mind. Isn't it? He thinks separate, different. How equal? Huh? Huh? Do you understand me? It's not theoretical thing. It's question of your vision. It's question of love. Question of love. Do you understand? It's question of love. Huh? One really one who has developed love. Really one who has developed love, he loved Krishna. He really loved one and all, isn't it? He'll never disrespect. He cannot disrespect even an ant, isn't it? Because super soul is there. Belongs to Krishna. Mame Vansa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Jiva, living entity, is eternally my part. Isn't it? Part and parcel. When you love Krishna, can't you love a dog? Can't you love an ant? Because it's a part of Krishna. Belongs to Krishna. Who is my beloved? Isn't it? This is the question of love. If you cannot love Krishna, you cannot love anybody. No. Do you understand? This is what we say, and Shastra says, Acharya says, Kapaladev says, or devotees says, this is what we needed. The Krishna is the only object of love, and everything is related to Krishna. Isn't it? Everything is related to Krishna. So if you can develop love towards Krishna, then you'll love one and everything. Because everything is related to Krishna. Isn't it? So, here also find that King Dasaratha in Ramayana, you understand, was a very expert archer who could shoot arrows by hearing what is sound. Do you understand? By the sound. Sabda Vedisha. Do you understand? One Andhamuni was there. Blind says. And both husband and wife were blind. They had one son, Shravan Kumar. Do you understand? Who was carrying his parents, blind father and mother, in a cradle. Do you understand? So they became thirsty. He was going, they became thirsty, then requested, "Oh son, please go and fetch some water, we'll drink. They're very thirsty." He went to nearby spring to fetch some water, taking a pot. While he was pouring water, some sound was produced. Though at that time, King Dasaratha was roaming there in that forest and hunting. So he could hear that sound. That sound, when he heard, he thought it is the sound of a deer. So he shot arrow. Understand? And he had that capacity. He was very expert. So that arrow struck into the body of that Shravan Kumar. He became died. Do you understand? He died. So he was going to die. So Shravan, the Dasaratha went there and saw is son of a sage, Muni Putra. Then he said, I had come here to fetch water for my blind father and mother. They were sitting there. They were very thirsty. Now I am dying. You please take this water and give them. Do you understand? So Dasaratha became very sorry, Moras, what I did. I did such a great offense. I killed the son of a sage. So he took the water, went there, and those blind and Muni, both father and mother, thought of their son had come. Oh son, you are so late. You are so. Then Dasaratha, no, I am King Dasaratha of Ajodhya. I did this thing. Your son, Shravan Kumar, is dead now. I shot that arrow. Then they cursed him. Yes, you'll die like this. Do you understand? We cannot now survive. We must die because he was our only son, was taking care of us and carrying us. So this, what is the distress is so acute that we lost our son. We cannot survive, we die. And they cost. You die in that way. You understand? Out of distress of your son. So when Lord Ram will go to forest, then he will die. That is. And another, the course also turned out as blessing. Because Dasaratha had no son, no children. Do you understand? So, when the Sandhamuni caused this thing, then that course turned out a blessing for him. Now, he would have children. Do you understand? Then, Ram, Lakshmana, Shatrugna, Bharata, 4 sons were produced. But he died. So, at that time, this Andhamuni said this thing. It is mentioned in Agni Purana. Shila buddhi kruta kimba pratimayang harer maya king maya pathidrustasya vishnu bhaktasya karichit tanamudrankita dehasya chetasha nadara krutaha jena karma vipakena putra soko mamidrusa. Do you understand? Shankar Pandit Prabhu. But he says, why? He said, why my son died? Why I got such punishment? Do you understand? Why I got such punishment? Why Lord inflicted such punishment on me? Do you understand? Have I done this thing? Have I ever thought of the deity installed in the temple as a mere idol? Have I ever sing a Vaishnava? Never paid respect or pranam to him? Have I ever disrespected any animal? That such punishment came to me? Do you understand? Do you understand me? It is there. It's Agni Purana. So, you should understand this thing. This is a question of love. Do you understand? This is a question of love. And the goal of our human life is that. To have such love of Krishna. Do you understand? That is Paramartha. Labdha sudalamayidam bahusambhavante manusyamardhadamanityam api yadira. Isn't it? 11th canto. After undergoing lakhs of spaces of life, now you have been given this rarely achieved human body. Rarely achieved human body. Dullava manavadanama. And what is the purpose of this body, of this human birth? Arthada. In this birth you will achieve this 5th Purusartha, Panchama Purusartha, 5th Purusartha, Supreme Purusartha, Param Purusartha, that is Krishna Prema Bhakti. Do you understand? That is the goal of human life. That is the purpose of this human birth. Isn't it? If you getting such rarely achieved human birth can't get that prem, then what is the use of this human birth, human body? What the use? It's useless. Do you understand? So this is what stated. This is the most important thing. If you can develop love towards us, then you love one and all. Even you cannot disrespect any animal, even an ant, because it's related to Krishna. And you can see also how Krishna is there in him, isn't it? Prahlad Maharaj saw Krishna in a stone pillar, but his demoniac father couldn't see. This is what. Do you understand? If you have no love, if you offer anything, Krishna will never accept. Never accept. Do you understand? That is said. will never accept here. Real love and devotion is accepted by the Lord. Many valuable foodstuffs may be presented to a person, but if the person is not hungry, all such offerings are useless for him. Similarly, we may offer many valuable items to the deity, but if we have no real sense of devotion and no real sense of Lord's presence everywhere, then we are lacking in devotional service. In such a state of ignorance, we cannot offer anything acceptable to God, to Lord. You will never accept it. You understand? Take the example of Sudama Vipra. Do you understand? Sudama Vipra. Very dear to Krishna. His dear friend, Sakha. In Sandipani Muni's ashram, they were students. Isn't it? They were students. Krishna, Balaram and Sudama. Sudama was very poor. Isn't it? Very poor, very, very poor. He had not a penny, penniless person. He couldn't even feed his children. You understand? So he had many children. He had many children, he couldn't feed. So his wife every day was telling him, you are saying Krishna is your friend. He is king now in Dwarka. He has so much opulence. Why don't you go there? Why don't you go there and beg some wealth for us? You understand? Silly woman, a silly woman. Every day was disturbing. But Sudama Vipra is such a devotee, he knows. This should not be begged from Krishna. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitamba, jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhakti rahe tuvitvai. Isn't it? Jagannathe hai, kichhi magu nahi tote. Oh Lord Jagannath, I am not asking anything from you. Do you understand? Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitamba, jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhakti rahe tuvitvai. Oh Lord, I don't ask you to give me any wealth. Dhanam, janam. I'm not asking for any material follower, not asking for any beautiful woman to enjoy. I'm not asking for liberation also. Life after life, let me offer this loving service unto you, your lotus feet. Nothing else. You understand? So Sudama Vipra knows this thing. Nothing to be asked. But this silly woman is disturbing me, creating disturbance in my bhajan. All right, I'll go. I'll go and have a darshan of my friend. Do you understand? Have a darshan of my friend. With that purpose, I'll go. Not for asking anything. Then he said, how can I go empty-handed? It's not etiquette. This is not etiquette. I'll go to see my friend, so dear friend, empty-handed. I must take something. Some presentation, some gift. Isn't it? That is etiquette. But they had nothing in their house. So I said, have you anything? Please give me. So I'll go to my friend. How can I go empty-handed? So they had nothing. So his wife went to her neighbor's house and got some broken chida. Do you understand? Very old, broken. Do you understand? Some handful. So she made a bundle, tattered cloth. In tattered cloth, Sudama Vipra made a bundle and went. So he reached Dwarka, saw such opulence. He felt ashamed. What I have brought? Such opulence is there. Dwarkadhish. Krishna is Dwarkadhish. He is the king, emperor of Dwarka. Such opulence. What I have brought? Very old, broken chida. Very old. Some bad odor was coming out of it. He felt ashamed to give. And put it under armpit. Hid it. He hid it. Put it under armpit. But Krishna knows. When Krishna heard his friends, dear friend Sudama had come, immediately called, hey, bring him, bring him. So he was called in. Krishna washed his feet, seated him on his own golden throne, worshipped him. Such treatment. Then Krishna knows, but Sudama was feeling ashamed to give such. Then Krishna said, in 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam you'll find, King upayana manitam brahman me bhavata gruhat. Oh, my friend, Brahman friend, what have you brought for me? When you got out from your house, you must have brought something for me. Why are you not giving me? Do you understand? Why are you not giving me? You must have brought something. He knows anything, Krishna. But he has put it on his armpit. Perspiration is coming out. Old chida. Old broken chida. Bad odor again. Such perspiration added to it. Such. But Krishna snatched away. Do you understand? Snatched away. So, tattered cloth. So, the old chida fell on the ground. Do you understand? The Krishna took one handful and took it with so much pleasure. Do you understand? So much pleasure, such happiness. What is this? Old chuda? Old broken chuda? Bad odor coming out. Again added this perspiration to it. But he had so much pleasure. What is that? It's question of devotion, isn't it? Question of love and devotion, nothing else. That is said. Anu pipahrutam bhakti premna bhurjevam e bhavet bhurjapya bhaktapahrutam name tosaya kalpate. 10th canto Bhagavatam you'll find. 10:81, 3 verse you see. Do you understand? Anupyupahrutam bhakti premna bhurjevam e bhavet bhurjapya bhaktapahrutam name tosaya kalpate. Krishna says, if my bhakta, if my dear devotee gives me something very little, anu means what you say? Atom-like thing, like an atom. Do you understand? With love and devotion, that is like Himalayan mountain for me. Do you understand? Purjeva prachur. Do you understand me? It's question of love and devotion, nothing else. And Bhurjapya bhakta parutam name tosaya kalpate. But one who is not my loving devotee, one who has not developed some loving devotion unto me, and a bhakta, a non-devotee, if offers many valuable items like Himalayan mountain, so great quantity, I don't accept it. I never get satisfaction at all. Do you understand? He says. And also you find, when Krishna, shall I say, continue? You are not tired? If you are not tired, I'll say. You see, when Krishna went to Hastinapura as a messenger, from Pandava, messenger of Pandavas, do you understand? So Duryodhana invited him to take prasad or food at his house. Do you understand? Duryodhana. So he engaged many cooks and cooked many varieties of nice food stuff. Do you understand? In great quantity. Because Krishna and Duryodhana were Samandhi. Isn't it what you say, Samandhi? Krishna's son Duryodhana's daughter were married. Do you understand? Married. So Samanti. Some relationship, family relationship like that. So invited him. You please, I invite you, please come to my house. Take food, prasad. So he cooked many varieties of food. But Krishna didn't go there. Do you understand? Krishna didn't go there. Uninvited, he went to Vidura's house. Do you understand? Vidura. Vidura never invited him, but uninvited, Krishna went there, Vidura's house, and ate, per se, soaked rice and saag. Do you understand? Soaked rice and saag. Very simple. Do you understand me? And with such love, with such love and pleasure, he took it. And Vidura's wife, because Vidura and his wife, both of them are very dear devotees of Krishna. They have so much love and affection for Krishna. Do you understand? There is no need of invitation. Do you understand? Krishna is, goes invited. What is the need of invitation? There is such love. And Krishna is there, always with them. Vidura's wife became so overwhelmed with joy, ecstasy. She was offering a ripe banana. Do you understand? Ripe banana to Krishna. She was peeling the skin of banana. Do you understand? And offering the skin and throwing out the inner sauce. And Krishna was taking it. Much delight. You see? In Ramayana also you'll find that Sabari, Matangini, Matangi, tribal woman, hilly tribal woman Matangi, Sabari, offered berries, berries to Lord Ram. She had collected berries from many years. She has collected, tasted. Lord, because her guru, Matanga Muni, had said, Lord Ram would come. So he said, yes, Lord Ram would come. So, many years, every day, she used to go to the forest and collected berries and tested it. Do you understand? She tasted, which is very sweet, he keeps it. Sour, sweet. Do you understand? Though, her remnants, because she had tested, escaped. And Lord Ram came, she gave it. And Lord Ram took it. That is first tested by that Sabari. Do you understand? Her remnants, with much pleasure. What is this? Because of love. It's only love, nothing else. So many instances you can find. It's question of only love. Nothing. You have no love, Krishna will never accept anything. Yes, I was telling that story from Mahabharata. The next day when Krishna went there, then Duryodhana asked, I invited you. I prepared so many varieties of food for you. Why didn't you come and eat? Krishna says, there are two principles of eating. Do you understand? What is that? Two principles. One thing, person may be hungry. Do you understand? So, if he is hungry, he can eat anywhere. Do you understand? If you won't give him, he'll snatch food and eat. He's so hungry. Do you understand? Or steal food and eat. He's so hungry. And if he's not hungry, if love is there, still he'll eat. Though he's not hungry, if love is there. So, I am not hungry and you have no love for me. How can I eat? Do you understand? Krishna says that thing. It's true. Two principles are there. First thing, the person may be hungry. So he may eat. I am not hungry because he is self-satisfied. He is self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything. Do you understand? I am not hungry and you have no love for me. So how can I eat? This is a question of love. So many instances are there. So Rupa Goswami has written many nice mm, poems, verses, prayers in this respect. While offering prasad to Kishore Kishori, Krishna deity, in Padavali, Rupa Goswami has written this thing. Pujari with love and devotion should recite this. Dijastrinang bhakti mruduni vidurani brajagavan dadhi khire sakhyu sphutatipita musto muroripo jasoda yastanye brajajuvati datte madhunite jatha sida modasti mamu pohare api kuruta. Do you know? This is upper. Rupa Goswami has written. Oh, Muraripo. Oh, enemy of Mura demon. Do you understand? Krishna. These Patnis, the wives of Brahmanas, offered you some anna. Do you understand? You ate it with so much pleasure. Do you understand? Their husbands were performing yajna. And that is in Srimad Bhagavatam also, 10th canto, you'll find. The cowherd boy said, oh, we are very hungry. Do you understand? Then he said, oh, go, this yajna. This Brahmanas were doing yajna, they must give. But they are smart Brahmanas, they are not bhaktas. They didn't give, but their wives were bhaktas. Dijapatni, Jaya Jaya Dijapatni, Naga Kanyagana. Bhakti re jahara paila Sri Krishna Charana, isn't it? You sing that song? You are a great singer, nice singer. Shankar Pandit Prabhu, don't you sing? Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, Jaya Jaya Dijapatni, Naga Kanyagana. Bhakti re jahara paila Sri Krishna Charana, isn't it? So, their wives, the wives of those Brahmanas, the Brahmanis, when they heard, oh, Krishna, Balaram, said, they were hungry. They prepared anna, you understand? And took that. This devotion, love and devotion. Krishna took it too. So much pleasure and satisfaction, they said. The Dijapatnis, they offered with love, such anna. You accepted it, ate it, much pleasure. And Vidur offered you such soaked rice and sack. You accepted it with much pleasure. And the cows in Brajabhumi every day offer you what? Milk and foodstuff produced out of milk. And you accept it and eat it with much pleasure. You suck to this breast of Mother Jasoda with much pleasure. The damsels of Brajabhumi every day offer you very nice dishes and honey, and you accept it with much pleasure. And this Sudama Vipra offer you such Sudama, yes. Sphuta Chipita Musto. Sudama Vipra offer you the broken chida, old chuda, and you accept it with much pleasure. Please accept this food I have prepared for you with such pleasure. You understand me? This is the meaning of this verse. Dijastrinang bhakti mruduni vidurani vrajagavang dadhikire sakhyo sphuta chipita musto muraripo jasoda yastanye brajadivoti datte madhunite jatha sida modastami mamupahare hapi kuruta. Do you understand? The nice verse. How many verses are there? To tell you. So these are the nice verses. As you sing for it's not with devotion, then Krishna will be very happy and accept it. Otherwise, you have no loving devotion to Krishna, and you are offering just Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya. Just ringing, paying obeisance, ringing auntie, but no love. Why Krishna will accept? Huh? These rituals are not needed at all. Only love is needed. Do you understand? I'll tell one story and finish my speech. One bhakta, devotee was there. He had deities like Kishore Kishori, very nice deities. He was very old man. He had a small child, son. Once that devotee fell sick, old man fell sick. Then he told his small child, I am sick today. You take this prasad, go to the deity room and offer it to Krishna. Child said, Father, I don't know any mantra. Huh? You know mantra. Some mantra you utter, you offer. I don't know any mantra. How can I offer? His father said, no mantra is required. You go, place the plate before the deity, put some tulsi leaf, pay obeisances, say, oh, Kishore, Kishori, my father is ill today. I have come to offer this food for you. Please accept it. Just say this thing. Do you understand? It's simple child. Child means simple, very simple. You have no crookedness, simplicity. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. You should understand this. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, all Vaishnavas, they have said this thing. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. Saralata hi Vaishnavata. Those are real Vaishnava sadhu, they are simple as a child. Do you understand? As simple as a child. So simple child said that thing. Put plate, head obeisances, said, my father is sick today. So I have come to offer this food for you. Oh, Kishore, Kishori, please accept it. So he said this, he paid obeisances, then his father has said, then you say this thing, they come out of the temple room, close the door, let them eat. He did like that. Do you understand? So after a few minutes, yes, he went back to his father. Yes, Father, I did as you had said. Then father said, all right, now 10 minutes have gone, all right, they might have eaten everything. If they would be needing something else, you go and see and ask. If they need something, some anna, some sabji, some dal, some salt or something, sugar or something, some water. Have you given water? Yes. Then he went, opened the flap, opened the door, then see and ask if they need something. Then that child did like that thing. Opened the door, clapped, opened the door, went inside, saw the all plate was empty. They had eaten everything. You understand? Then they asked, oh, Kishore, Kishori, do you need anything more? They said, oh, we are very much satisfied. No need. Then he came back and reported that thing to his father. Oh, they have eaten everything. The plate was empty. And they said they don't need anything more. They are very satisfied. Oh, they ate everything? Oh, yes. Then what shall we eat? We want some remnants from them. Go and take. Ask them. You ate everything. So my father said, he is sick. He wants some remnants from you. So what my father will eat, what I will eat. Do you understand me? Simple child. What the father said, then he again went there. Head of us, oh, Kishore, Kishori, you ate everything. My father is sick. He wants some remnants from your remnants. I also want something. What shall we eat? So immediately, the whole plate filled with a nice prasad. Then say, all right, take this remnant. Do you understand me? This is true story. True story. It's not concocted. This is question of love. The child is very simple. It's not crooked. The simplicity is Vaishnavism. If you are a crooked fellow, you have duplicity in your heart. Krishna will never accept if you offer anything. And you can never develop any love for Krishna. Never. Because you're such a duplicitous person. So duplicity in your heart, that's filth. Simplicity in Vaishnava. Thank you. जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय. Yes. Question? Yes, what question you have?
Sometimes I like myself, somebody over the universe and we don't have love.
Krishna will never accept it. I said that thing.
What if we're sincerely trying to have love? We're on the path, body, and we don't have pure love. There's someone
I told you this last story. Be simple. The child offered. Do you understand? As his father said, he did. No mantra, nothing. Only pure heart is required. If your heart is pure, if you are really simple, if there's simplicity in you, you are real sadhu, you are real bhakta. Love is there. Automatic love will be there. No simplicity in our heart. Heart is filled with duplicity, politics, pretentiousness, crookedness. Do you understand? You cannot develop love. All your worship, all your offerings will never be accepted by Krishna. Never be accepted. Do you understand? He knows the heart. He knows the heart. He never listens that comes out from the lip. That comes from the heart, core of your heart. He listens to it.
And one more question. When we go to Jagannath, we're taking Jagannath. Some of the majoris aren't following the principle, not following the highest standard. And others say they couldn't be having love.
Have you tested that they have no love? Huh? Are you judge? Huh? Why do you say so? No, don't say so. Don't say so. They may take cigarette or ganja or whatever they may be. If they have love, if Jagannath is accepting, that's all right. Huh? Do you understand? Jagannath is so merciful. Jagannath was worshipped by Nila Madhava in the form of, do you understand? Huh? He was accepting his worship with love, with pleasure. But he was eating the flesh of a hog, that hill-tried person. Do you understand? But his heart was very pure. Do you understand? Heart was very pure. So much devotion he had. Do you understand? You are putting, placing Nila Madhav in a dense forest, in the hole of a tree. Do you understand? No temple, nothing. What he offers? He offers he picks up some flower, some fruit, from the jungle and offers it. It's true love. And Nila Madhav was accepting. But his food, his behavior, rough behavior, do you understand? He was eating the flesh of the hog, do you understand? Fish, meat, everything he was eating. So, our Nila Madhav was accepting. Do you understand me? This is the question of love in your heart. Love in your heart. If you maybe, yes, that's required. We have these regulatory principles. Jaisa khai anna, vaisa hai mana. Your mind will be formed out of your food. Do you understand? If you take sattvic food, then mind will be sattvic. If you take rajasic food, mind will be rajasic. Take tamasic food, mind will be tamasic. That is there in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said. Therefore we have this thing. No fish eating, meat eating, no intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, regulatory principles. That is Vaidhi Bhakti. Do you understand? And most important is your love, your simplicity of the heart, purity of our heart, love in the heart. And you are very strictly following all these regulatory principles, but you have no love, then all these things have no value at all. It's valueless, zero. Value is zero. Do you follow me? Huh? Yes?
So Krishna said,
Ah.
sometimes he is author of knowledge,
Ah.
so why in the not in the then why will the system for the one Sama master of art, wisdom, arti, they need to become a pujari. Means pujari means to become Brahman.
Yes.
Have to have Brahmin taste.
That is vidhi. That is vaidhi. That is vaidhi. Vidhi. Do you understand? That is vidhi. That is vaidhi. But most important is your heart, your love. You are Brahman. You have put on. You are chanting Gayatri, giving Gayatri mantra. You have become Brahman, everything, but no love. Then
But same thing, when some people live in the house, like I stay with my grandfather, my parents are living in the house, they are not proper Vaishnava, or they don't follow actual the rules and regulations. But they do, but in the morning when they like before, when they taste bath, they what they have in the house, they give Krishna. So what is that that Krishna?
I told you that story. The simple child offers. The savory offer is aparar, jhuta, remnants. Huh? Ramayana. Do you understand? What is that? Huh? Our Lord Ram accepted with pleasure because of the love. He didn't say, oh, you have tasted it. Your remnant shall I accept? Huh? I told all these things. Most important is your purity of heart and love. This outward thing, Krishna never asks. Yes, mother?
And he's not installed, but if Krishna is in the deity regardless, but he's installed now. So for the worship, but I'm talking about I need more and more faith because, as you said, that you could rise to Krishna, the karma, the ritual, come to the deity, but I couldn't do that. And I was not doing it, but I like to feel like Krishna is very much.
What she says?
She's saying that in her house, she has deity of
Ah.
Krishna, but the deity hasn't been installed. So she wants to know how is the deity still there as Krishna, even though the proper ceremonies for installation didn't take place.
No problem. You may not perform such proper ceremony. You chant Hare Krishna, invite some Vaishnavas, real sadhu, do some Sankirtan, pray and offer, call Krishna. Please manifest yourself in this deity. That's enough. That's enough. Yes? Do you understand? If our real love for Krishna, real affection for Krishna, purity of heart is there, you just say, oh Krishna, please manifest yourself in this Vigraha Murti. I'll worship you, I'll render service to you, I'll offer food to you, I'll bathe you, I'll dress you, I'll make you lie down, I'll make you wake you up. I have so much pleasure to serve you. Please. Huh? Just say, mother. Huh? Simple, pure heart. Just say the devotion. That's installation. Chant Hare Krishna, do Sankirtan, best. Come up here. Sitting there and raising hand. Yes.
So I understand.
Yes.
Some background.
That's all right.
If love is all we need to worship Krishna, what are all these rules, regulations, and principles?
If loving Krishna is all,
Yeah.
why do we need all the rules and
Rules,
regulations?
regulation help you to purify your heart. That is Vaidhi, first thing required. The Vaidhi will take you to that bhava and prema. Therefore we stress on it. That's the beginning stage of bhakti. And we as Vaishnavas, Vaishnava is teacher, Shikhyaka. Do you understand? Vaishnava sadhu is teacher. Who will teach the society? The sadhu will teach. If sadhu will never follow all these regulations in his own life, why others will follow? Nobody is following. Do you understand? How will you teach? Vedic etiquette, Vedic regulations. Do you understand? Therefore, we observe it. Regulations. Vedic etiquette, Vedic regulations. Do you understand? That is Vaidhi Bhakti. We stress upon it to teach people. Unless you do, and if you speak, your words will be empty words. Do you understand me? It will never be effective. It will never be effective. Because you are not observing in your life. You have no right to say. And if you say, it is only talk. Useless words, ineffective, will never produce any effect. But you yourself is observing and you say, it is effective. To teach people, we do it. This is Vaidhi first beginning stage. And that will help to purify your heart. Do you understand? Then you develop bhav and prem. Do you understand? That is what needed. But that prem is most important. When you achieve that stage of prem, there is no question of Vaidhi. No question at all. Do you understand? No question at all. When you attain the prem stage, there is no question of Vaidhi. At that time, at that stage, the devotee forgets himself. He forgets his own existence. You understand? He forgets in his own as I say, Vidur Patni, the wife of Vidur, gave the skin of banana and Krishna ate it with much pleasure. Is it etiquette? Huh? That Sabri gave her own nuts and Lord Ram accepted. Is it etiquette? What is that? Because they are so absorbed, they have achieved the highest stage of prayer. You understand? So, in that stage, there is no necessity of following. Because they have forgotten their own existence. That we are existing, they have forgotten. How can they observe all this, follow these regulations? Do you understand? That stage, the devotee rolls, cries, rolls on the ground, he passes stool, he passes urine and rolls. Do you understand me what I say? Huh? Huh? High stage of prem. Huh? That Mahaprabhu has exhibited. Do you understand? Mahaprabhu was falling faint. Some foam was coming out from his mouth. Do you understand? Huh? Sing the ocean. Mahaprabhu thought it was Jamuna. Who is Jamuna river? Jagannath Puri saw ocean and jumped into it, became unconscious. Do you understand? So a fisherman was throwing his net to catch fish, so he caught Mahaprabhu. Isn't it? So what is that? Fisherman eating fish, catching fish, selling fish. But when he caught up Mahaprabhu with his net, he became so ecstatic, he chanted, "Oh, Hare, Hare, Hare Krishna," dancing. What is that? Do you understand me, what I say? What I say, do you understand me? When that highest stage of prem is achieved, there is no question of this vidhis. That is it. Vidhi dharma chhadi bhoje Krishnera charana, nisiddha papachara tara kohu noy mano. Vidhi dharma chhadi bhoje Krishnera charana, nisiddha papachara tara kohu noy mano. When he has achieved such high stage of love, who has forgotten himself, his own existence, is there any thought of sin in his mind? Huh? Can he commit any sinful activity? Huh? His mind is completely absorbed. Do you understand? So, where is the question of following this regulative principle? He has forgotten himself. You have not achieved that thing. For you, it is needed in the beginning. First, very strictly follow regulative principles. Do you understand me? This beginning stage. It will help you to elevate yourself that high stage of prayer. Do you understand? As Vaidhi, then Bhava, then Prema. Therefore we do, and to teach people, we observe ours in our life. People are not breaking all rules and regulations. How? They will be taught unless we teach, unless we observe in our life. Therefore needed. Do you understand? Do you understand? Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
The grace of Guru and Shastra, the devotees with devotion, they're seeing that we were given that every living entity is part of ourselves.
Ah.
That Lord is residing in every body. So, assuring this way that from a point of back of the problem that by certain expert advice, now we have this problem in Kishori's temple, so many cockroaches and mice in Kishori's kitchen. And this Govinda's, so they say, you should exterminate this. So, what's the devotee thing?
Don't kill them. Don't kill them. No, don't kill them. We never kill. No, we don't allow, so we'll. No, you see, we do that thing, we never kill them because they are creatures, animals, and they have no consciousness, you see. You are a human being, some upper level of consciousness, that's a very low level of consciousness. But what to drive them out? And also we put that trap, that mouse rat will enter into it and not be killed, then put it into some. We do like that in our temple. In a tin, then take away to some 2-3 miles away at that. You release them there. Like that. In that way, we do that in our temple. We don't kill them. And we keep cat. If cat mews, the rat will never come. And cat will catch. That's cat's food. We have no desire to kill them. Just drive them out. We don't do it. That's it's not. All right, thank you. It's practical thing.